It's 12:40. We're going to call the meeting to order, and I'll ask the district attorney to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we're going to call the meeting to order. We're running a little late. The room was booked when we got here. We finally vacated, so I trust everybody has had an opportunity to review the minutes that were circulated by Erica in advance of today's meeting from our October 16, 2024 meeting. And assuming that you have, I'll entertain a motion to approve those meeting minutes and waive their reading.
Motion.
Second. I got a second on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Anybody from the public wish to address the board on agenda items only? Okay, I see nobody approaching, so we'll move on to our motions. The first motion on the agenda is a motion to approve all the current payables for the Community Corrections Center and the prison. Again, these items were circulated in advance of today's meeting, and I trust everybody's had the opportunity to review them. Assuming that you have, I'll entertain a motion to approve all current payables.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Current payables are approved. Next, we'll go to our reports. We'll turn to Controller DiBileo for the Controller's report.
Yes, Judge. Thank you. Controller's report for the prison inmate and canteen accounts for October 2024. The Controller's Office reviewed the prison inmate and canteen account reconciliations, which were prepared by the Prison Business Office for the month of September 2024, and found no discrepancies between the reconciliations and the bank statement. The balance in the inmate account was $428,382.99 as of October 31st, 2024. The balance in the canteen checking account was $481,380.56 as of October 31st. In addition, as of October 31st, the canteen account also included a balance in the Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust investment account of $923,318.06, which is earning approximately $4,055 per month, and which will mature in January of 2025. During the month of October, $78,961.17 was paid from the canteen account for the benefit, welfare, and education of Lackawanna County inmates. And an itemized list of those expenses are attached to my report. And that concludes my report.
You mentioned that the Pennsylvania Local Government Investment account comes mature in January. Is there a specific date, or is it January 1?
Yes, there is, Judge. The dates are January 9th for one of the investments, and that is $838,000, and January 23rd of 2025, which is for $108,000. So as we get closer, I'll be able to bring up what the rates might look like.
Well, I'm guessing for the one that I don't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but the one that matures on January 9th, would we not have to address that at our December meeting? If we're going to take a vote on that, because our January meeting will be after the 9th.
Yes, we will.
Okay, so will you be able to provide us with, I know there won't be hard numbers, I
Yes.
understand that, but at least.
Bring it up for a vote for renewal of that January 9th. And then the January 23rd will be after our meeting, so we'll bring that one up
Okay,
in January.
okay.
Okay?
And how about any of the other, do we have anything in CDs at this point?
We used to have the CDs, which weren't paying very much, but now we have these two
They're
Pennsylvania.
all rolled
local
over
government-
into the,
Everything's right
Okay.
in with Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust.
very good.
On the question, Gary, what's the term? Is it a 12-month term, or do we have?
180 days, 6 months.
Both of them?
Yeah, both are 180 days, and those are the next maturity dates, January 9th and January 23rd. And currently paying 5.32% annualized on the January 9th amount of $838,000, and then 5.28% annualized on the January 23rd maturity date of $108,000. So we'll try to get as close as we can to what the renewal rates may be. They're generally higher than we can get elsewhere.
Okay. Any other questions for the controller? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve his report.
So moved.
Do I have a second
Second.
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Controller's report is approved. Mr. McConaughey with the Community Corrections Center report.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the house arrest report for the month of October. Adult house arrest had 181 participants, juvenile had 27. Programs revenues, house arrest had $52,205.20. Juvenile had $5,850 for a total of $58,055.20. Year-to-date totals for both departments is $592,782.17. Programs expenses was $71,741.70. Programs completions was 42. Violations were 6. We still have 5 outstanding warrants for house arrest. Budget report overall, overtime is at 72, expenses at 82, and revenues at 87%. That's the end of my report.
Any questions for Mr. McConaughey? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve his report.
So moved?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Your report is approved. Thank you,
Have a
Norm.
good day.
Have a good day. Warden Betti.
Good afternoon, Board. The average daily population for October was 711 inmates, 578 were county inmates. We averaged 632 adult males, 6 juvenile males, and 73 adult females. And the average daily population of U.S. Marshal detainees was 133. Our staffing update, currently our correctional officer numbers break down to 171 full-timers on shift, 4 out on workers' comp, 1 on continuous FMLA, 98 with intermittent FMLA. We have 2 officers on administrative leave and 4 full-time vacancies for a total of 182 full-time officers. The budget as of October 31st, revenue was at 66% and expenses was at 82%. Extraordinary occurrence reports, there were 7 occurrences in the month of October. On 10/7, 2 individuals were engaged in a fight and wouldn't stop when told to do so. As a result, officers deployed OC spray and the 2 stopped fighting one another. Both individuals were then transferred to the restrictive housing unit. On 10/10, an individual covered his cell's windows, flooded his cell, and refused to comply with staff orders. He then threatened to commit suicide. He was then taken to our medical department for an assessment, and the decision was made to put him on a 15-minute watch and place him in the emergency restraint chair due to his continued erratic behavior.
God bless you.
Bless you.
On 10/13, an individual who was on suicide prevention watch was displaying signs of agitation and aggression. A decision was made to remove him from his cell and to temporarily place him in the emergency restraint chair for his safety. This person was very resistant to the idea, and staff had to deploy OC spray to gain compliance, after which he was safely placed in the emergency restraint chair. On 10/23, an individual refused to go back to his cell after receiving his medication. He was insisting that he should have been released after a hearing he had the day before. Staff attempted to calm him down, but his behavior kept escalating, and the situation turned into a physical altercation. A decision to place him in the emergency restraint chair was made by the shift commander for the safety of all involved. On 10/23, an individual refused to be sent to another facility for a scheduled hearing. Officers observed that this individual took a fighting stance with closed fists, and then he began to threaten the officers. The situation escalated when this individual physically resisted officers' attempt to place him in handcuffs. To obtain compliance, OC spray was used. After administering the OC spray, the individual still resisted attempts to place him in hand restraints. Additional officers arrived, and they were eventually able to handcuff him. This individual was then placed in the emergency restraint chair to enable the medical staff to decontaminate him. Also on 10/23, busy day, I guess, at the jail this year, a newly committed male began expressing suicidal ideations and acting erratically. He then became physically agitated, so a decision was made to place him in the emergency restraint chair for the safety of everyone involved. And finally, on 10/30, a female was being brought back into the prison for violations of house arrest rules and regulations. She began acting out physically and expressed suicidal ideations. Staff placed her in the emergency restraint chair for the safety of everyone involved. PREA. There was one PREA investigation completed in the month of October. It was an allegation of staff on inmate sexual harassment, and it was deemed unfounded. Other business, we've been working with Outreach to develop a plan for the expansion of GED services at the prison, as well as getting the prison, for lack of a better term, certified as a GED test site again. Unfortunately, this will call for funding that is not allocated in the prison's 2025 budget. As a result, I'm proposing that the prison board allows us to use canteen account money to pay for this project. The anticipated cost is approximately $150,000 to $155,000 for 2025. And our goal for 2025 is to access grant money to assist in funding this project in the future. But as of right now, I'm not aware of any potentially available grant money, but we'll be searching with the folks from Outreach. Personnel, a new basic training course began on 11/12, consisting of 9 part-time officers. Those folks who make it through the course will be available for shift work December 18th. And this concludes my report.
Where did you say 9?
9, yes.
It's not 10, okay.
It was initially 10, but we already lost one.
Got it.
Okay, any questions for the warden?
I don't have any questions, just a comment on the GED program. I think that is great, and I think it's so worth it and so important to the benefit of the inmates. And I know we haven't discussed it yet, but just, first blush, I would definitely be in favor of considering using the canteen funds if we could for the program, just because I think ultimately it's for the benefit of the inmates. But I think it's, thanks for pushing that forward.
Yeah, one of the most difficult things right now, how it goes is we present paperwork packets to the inmates that are interested in a GED, but when they get released, they would then have to go to a test site, an approved test site. And there's a big disconnect there. When they get out, life takes over on them. It's nice to be able to afford them that opportunity to take the test while they're still with us, because they're much more likely to take it, and it's all fresh in their minds, so they're much more likely to pass it as well.
Is there something, a proposal that you can circulate to us?
Yeah, I got, I guess you could say, a budget from Outreach that is a breakdown. I can certainly share that with everyone.
Yeah, because I think, if we can do that now, in between now and next month's meeting, we'll be able to someone to make a motion, because I don't think, at least my view of being on this board for as long as I have, I don't think anybody's going to oppose something like that. I think, I'm not, obviously not speaking for everybody, but if we can have something in front of us, it'll enable us to make a more informed decision.
I can have that to everybody this afternoon, so.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything for the warden? Okay. I'm going to seek to go into executive sessions, and I'd like you to stay in the room before we get to the public participation in the meeting. So we'll do that. Now, it's a personnel matter, so. Okay. We're back on the record. We had a personnel matter to discuss in executive session, and we did. Warden?
I was making a recommendation to the board for the termination of a correctional officer for cause. I know that we discussed it a bit in detail during the executive session, and I'm hopeful to have a vote on that recommendation of mine.
And what's the current status?
That individual is out on unpaid administrative leave for the last 30 days.
Okay, so there's a recommendation for such a motion. Do I have a motion? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you, Warden.
Thank you.
Anybody from the public wish to address the board? You're not from the public. Sit down. Well, any members have any other business? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving.